how to handle issues within a relationship, any relationship. And the answer is communication. Now, communication, we're doing a series on communication because it's such a huge topic, and I have just done 9 conversational killers. Check that out if you want to check that out. But there's 2 sides to handling an issue in a relationship, any relationship. There's how do you bring the information up in a healthy way, and how do you receive the information in a healthy way. And there's probably 1,000 ways to do this, but this systematic process gives me a script and people I talk to a script to handle conversations in a healthy way to make sure that we get resolutions and we can put this behind us. This is Joshua Ward with He Changed Me, and we're going to talk about it after the intro. See you in a bit. Communication for a lot of us has been modeled in a healthy way. And I'm not talking about pushing things under the rug or having yellow match or throwing pots and pans and pouring hot grease on people. Hopefully you're not pouring hot grease on people. But to be able to have a way out, you need to have a potential solution of how to follow. Now, you won't follow it 100%, you may fall off, but if you have a process, which I have used and I have helped other people use, and I'm now sharing with you, this may be a way to help handle issues and bring them up in a healthy way. But before I do that, let me tell you a little bit of my channel. We do relationships, we do single dad, parenting, because I want to make sure we do combine with that, personal growth and attachment theory. So this could be really big on personal growth and also relationships, but really and truly this communication series could be utilized in any of these 4 caveats. But let's go into it. Now I'm going to break this down into 3 different areas to make sure you understand, but let's get into it. Now, first is going to be the ground rules. I'm sitting down because this is very serious, okay? The first ground rule you want to make sure you understand is one issue at a time, all right? If the person has had the courage to bring up an issue to resolve, there's no combating about, oh, yesterday's issue and this issues you have. Sorry, you didn't have the courage to bring it up. It's not your time to shine in this situation. It's the person who brought up the issue, had the courage to do it. That's the issue at hand. Rule number 1, one problem at a time. Number 2, no conversational or communication killers. Please check that out. There's multiple different ones, from being dismissive to being passive aggressive, and none of those things produce continuing communication to make sure you can get to a resolution. And number 3, always understand if a person is bringing up an issue, don't think about yourself, which is kind of difficult depending on if you're being triggered. Think about, I care about this individual. They're bringing up an issue that's bothering them, and I want to make sure I can alleviate that issue in a healthy way that doesn't cross your own boundaries. So those are the 3 ground rules, okay? Remember them, okay? One issue at a time, no conversational killers, and understand that you care about this person and you want to make sure their lives better without crossing your own boundaries. All right? All right, I'm going to stand up again. But let's get into it. Yeah. Bang. So how do you bring up an issue in the proper way? Okay. First thing you have to do, you have to understand how you feel. That's number 1. How am I feeling right now, truly? And I got this wheel of emotion, which is amazing. I have it in my wallet. I look at it on a consistent basis, but it helps you to understand what your core emotions, happy, mad, sad, and it helps break it down to more descriptors and more in-depth specific feelings of how you're feeling in that moment, which helps you get an approach of how to talk to somebody else about what's going on. So first of all, understand how you're feeling in that moment. Second of all, telling somebody else how you feel. Say, because you don't start off with, man, you're the problem, and why do you do this, and all this other garbage. You say, hey, you have time to talk, I want to talk. And then, okay, what's going on? Hey, I right now, I feel frustrated and I feel sad with the current situation that's going on. And then after you tell them, after you understand how you feel, and then you explain it to the other person how you feel, then you tell the person the situation from your perspectives without you statements, all right? Anytime you start to say you, person's brain is going to shut off and feel like they're being attacked, and they're going to listen to anything you have to say. So, for example, I feel sad and frustrated. I'm looking at the situation of taking care of my daughter. And I know that we do a good job working on it, but for some reason, I feel like I'm alone in these certain situations. It may not be true, but that's how I feel in this moment. And then after you do that, again, then you say the you statement of, what do you think? All right. Now, it doesn't matter what they really say. Like most of the time they'll get defensive and give rationalization of all of this stuff. And that's fine. All right. There's better ways to receive it, which we'll talk about next. But you bring it back to, okay, I understand. And that's what your perspective was. But this is how I feel at this point in time. So how can we make sure we can resolve this in a way that I don't feel this way going forward? Okay. Again, remember the ground rules in the situation. Okay, so that's how you bring up the information in a way that's healthy without minimizing a derailment of a solution for the conversation. Let's go into how do you receive it? How do you receive the issue? Okay, and a lot of people have this problem. So, number one thing you have to do to receive, you have to first acknowledge how that person is feeling. So once that issue comes up, you repeat it. So it sounds like you're frustrated and you're sad about the situation that I'm a part of. It seems like I'm a part of. Does that sound correct? So you repeat and confirm. Yeah, that's exactly how I feel. Then you can, but you don't have to. You can be like, well, is it okay, ask that person, is it okay if I give you my rationalization on my perspective to help maybe give you understanding where I'm coming from to help with a solution later? Most times people will say yes. And then you give a brief perspective of what's going on and go from there. But at the end of that explanation, you still repeat how that person feels. Yes, so I was really busy with work and I thought I might get fired and all of this stuff like that. That's where I was coming from. And then you at the end say, but I understand that you're still sad and that you feel frustrated. And I'm hearing you, I understand how you feel, and I respect you and I care about you. Let's move into a potential solution. All right, that is key because when you talk about the past, which is usually helpful information, they can get lost of you forgetting about what's going on. You want to make sure you bring that back to understand that this is about your issue, not about mine. Okay? And so when that happens, then now you can start to work on, okay, since that situation, what can we now you go into the solution part. Okay? That's gonna be the solution part. So it seems easy, but the problem is a lot of time when people bring issues, they don't feel like they're being heard and they feel like they're being dismissed, which may not be the real true cause that's going on in the mind, but they need to hear that you acknowledge that you care about how they feel, you acknowledge how they feel, you hear it, and then you're willing to work on a resolution to resolve that. Again, always resolve issues, making sure that you keep your boundaries intact. Okay? So that is how you receive it in a healthy way to move forward. Again, remembering the ground rules. In conclusion, guys, so I'm sitting down Indian style. I'm trying a different spot in these tight pants, so I should get like a like and a subscribe just based off of that. But understanding communication is difficult, and just for somebody to or even bringing up an issue is difficult. And acknowledge that if somebody brings an issue up, they're not trying to cause a problem. They're actually trying to potentially keep the relationship intact. Because if a person can't communicate about how they're feeling, that's going to build up resentment and then sabotaging of the relationship in whatever means necessary. So understanding that communicating about issues are good as long as you're willing to receive it and have resolutions without crossing your boundaries. Because within situations, it could be unhealthy where a person is really like toxic, like those narcissistic perspectives, and then it's always take. Again, that's why you gotta make sure you stay within your boundaries. But if you're in a relationship that's healthy, that's moving forward, it behooves you to really listen to what's going on. All right. Now, if you do have your own issues when the other person brings it up, their issues, again, it's not your time to bring up your issues, but you can wait a couple days and be like, hey, you know what? After we talked about the issue it resolved, which I'm glad you brought it up to me, then you can be like, there was a situation that kind of reminded me of also that I wanted to talk to you about also. And in a healthy situation, now you move. And if you do that enough, then eventually those issues won't come as like holding on to it. You'll be able to bring those issues up in real time. And that's the true healthy relationship, is when you have issues and you're able to communicate about it in real time. So here it is again, a method to be able to communicate issues properly with the people you love and care about. Again, it doesn't have to be a love interest. It could be your kids, parents, whoever. But understanding, leaving space, respecting a person's issues, and trying to find a solution is the ultimate goal, not causing more. So please like and subscribe. And if you like this content, we'll do more on communication. I think I might do a communication and attachment theory, which might be a good combination so people can help understand when they already know what the attachment theory is. But until next time, thank you for coming. My legs are hurting from this Indian style. So I'm gonna get up and see you next time. And yeah, happy holidays if you see this before Christmas. So until next time.